Alright, I already pressed record.
You already did?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's your name?
My name is Cacy Forgenie.
So where are you from, dude?
I'm from Brooklyn, born in Brooklyn, raised in Guyana, South America. Came back to New York, been here for a while.
You been traveling a lot, or you've always been settled here?
I was educated here, but I've traveled a lot. I've traveled throughout Europe, Asia, and Africa.
So how's all that traveling, has that had an effect on what you do for a living? How you express yourself?
Oh yeah, definitely. I have a global perspective on the world and my experiences in New York. I have a broader outlook on life, and it's helped my work.
What's your work? What do you do?
Well, I'm an artist. I use video and I do still photography, and I talk about life in New York from a perspective of a person listening to hip hop or influenced by hip hop culture.
Give us an example of like some of the work that you do that talks about influences of life.
Well, right now I have a show that's coming up at Exit Art that's opening on Thursday, and I talk about how Black and Latino males are viewed in this society as threats and as fantasies. So a lot of the work I have on view are about how hip-hop influence and style and fashion are consumed by people, as well as people who are influenced by the culture, and people outside of the culture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what is it? Video, stills, the work that you're doing on Thursday?
These are still photographs. My show in November is going to be still photographs also, but I've also done videos that talks about things like fashion, beauty, and stuff like that. So the stuff that's going to be shown in November is still photography, stuff taken with this camera, the Nokia 7710, images I shot around New York of car accidents, crime scenes, and stuff like that. Yeah.
What about crime acts? What's all about these crime scenes? What's the fascination with that?
I seem to have the knack to find stuff happening in New York. Like, no matter where I go, who I'm with, I always find things happening. I can turn the corner and run into a car accident. I could go up the block and find somebody with a gunshot wound. A lot of the stuff I'm showing in November, for example, are people who got hit by taxi cabs, people who were talked to by cops, checking to see if they're okay. I got like a series of images of a bicyclist who got hit in Midtown Manhattan. It was actually a hit and run, and I was the only photographer on the scene. So I got a lot of really interesting, unique shots.
So you capture all that with your camera?
Yeah, I use several cameras. I have
what's the most effective camera? Your camera you can carry around your neck or your cell phone?
Well, this is really cumbersome. So sometimes I forget it, and I just take my cell phone with me because it's convenient. I mean, the megapixel ratio is only 2 megapixels, but I can do a lot with it. I can just stuff this in my back pocket and just keep going.
Like you take this inside of places, outside.
Yeah.
The work you have coming up, how long have you been working on that for? How long has it taken?
The images for Thursday, I've been shooting them for almost 10 years, from 1998 to the present. The stuff in November at the same amount of time as well.
Okay.
About 10-year difference.
Now, what role does this camera play? This Nokia 77.
Yeah, 7710.
What's so special about this one in terms of why did it become a part of one of the tools for expressing yourself?
Well, it's a conversation starter for one. Basically, very few people in New York have it. It's one of the first touchscreen phones. It's convenient. It has a lot of applications it can use, like to edit photographs, and to send photographs, surf the web, and so on. And it's just something that's different. It's completely different from the iPhone. I think it's an iPhone killer, but I think Nokia dropped the ball on it because they just didn't really fuss with the software.
Why was it the iPhone killer?
Well, the screen itself is like ridiculous. It was the first touchscreen phone that came out in 2004, or maybe even beyond. The first time I saw it was in a Missy Ellis video.
Okay.
And when I saw it, I was like, that's the phone for me. Like, nobody had it.
Yeah.
So when I finally got it, I got it off for a guy in Scotland through eBay. And I went online, I did a whole bunch of research, and I saw that there were whole communities who were basing their lives and their activities around this phone. People were making software programs, people making applications, and just trading images and stuff. And I wanted to be a part of that. And I wanted to have something that was different because, you know, being that I'm from New York, one of the things that makes you a New Yorker is that you got to stand up from the crowd.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So while there's like, 10,000 people with like an iPhone in a 5-block radius, I got my Nokia 10, and it looks different, it feels different, and it's a tank. You know?
Like, what are some of the best applications versus the current modern phones? This this gets the job done for you more than the current iPhone or the current Nokia?
I think it does because number one, it's compact. You don't really have to send your phone away to get the battery replaced like you have to do with the iPhone.
Yeah.
And you can expand the memory. Like right now, I have a 90 megabyte card, but I can still save like tons of music, tons of video, tons of still images, and I can upgrade that to a 2 megapixel, to a 2 gigabyte card, and I can store movies on there. I can store like a whole bunch of stuff on there.
That's this question here. So my question is then, what's your ideal phone, Casey? What's your ideal phone? I feel like you're the person to ask in that 7710 community would be the person to ask.
Well, I thought the N95 was like the phone, like the upgrade from 7710. Since Nokia continued 7710. But I just fell in love with the screen. Like, if you look at the phone, it's like the screen is like the whole phone.
Yeah.
You know? And, I mean, I still consider getting the N95, but I fell in love with this, and I'm probably going to have it for a while. Even though, you know, Symbian doesn't make the software to do any type of upgrades, you know? So, as a nostalgic factor, I keep it.
And this phone is pretty much has everything you need.
Everything
all
I need to
basic
do.
functions.
Everything I need to do, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
You know? Like, if I leave my house without my camera or my iPod, I have my camera, I have my video camera in that, I have my messenger service, my regular telephone, and an MP3 player, you know?
Okay.
And I don't have to worry about, you know, extra things like this.
Now, have you always been part of these forums?
No, I was never really into phones. You know, it was just like, I would have a phone for my job, and you know, and that was about it. It was just about business. I never thought about using a phone as a creative way to express myself until this phone came along.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This is the first phone that made you think about this being as part of creative expression?
Yeah.
What was some of the first things you started doing? Was it pictures, a video, or?
I started doing pictures of myself. You know, like I'm in the bathroom, cutting my hair.
Yeah.
If I don't have like a handheld mirror, and I got to reach behind a certain spot to see if everything is clear, I can take a picture of the back of my head, look at it, and I can go from there.
Okay.
If I'm trying to impress somebody, you know, I can send images of myself via Bluetooth. Okay. You know, and be like, yo, I want to talk to you. What's up? You know, it's what I look like. You know. So it just sounds cool like that.
What's some of your favorite websites?
Definitely. My favorite website right now is Facebook.
Yeah.
Because all my friends who are artists are on there, and we can send images to each other, we can send information about upcoming shows, we can keep in touch, we can organize parties and stuff like that. Then after that will probably be MySpace, because I post a lot of videos on MySpace for my work. MySpace used to be like the thing, but it's like kind of boring right now. You know?
It's fallen off.
Definitely fell off, you know, so Facebook is where it's at. I like...
we see the difference between the two.
I think Facebook is more intelligent.
Yeah.
You know? It's much more intelligent, and the people in there are smart, they're educated. Some of them are funny, but, you know, it's like, it's not like a hookup spot like how Facebook is. But it seems like it's a thing for kids. I'm sorry, for MySpace. It seems like a thing for kids, you know? And I can get a lot more networking done. Because people on Facebook can just look at your, depending on kind of profile you have, they can just look and see where you were educated, what other people you're connected to within different forums or different networks, either in New York, in Europe, or whatever. And being that cyberspace is so small, New York is so small, you can verify a lot of information via Facebook. Yeah.
So what keeps you connected more? Your Nokia phone or the internet?
I would say both. Because being that I'm active in the New York City art world, like I'm active as a curator sometimes, I'm active as a reporter, writer. I write in the New York Post, I contribute photographs in the New York Post. Like I'm in touch with a lot of different people who are tastemakers and lifestyle influencers. So it's like a 50-50 type deal, you know.
What are some of the people who back you, supporting you, like organizations that you?
Definitely Exit Art, Rush Arts Gallery in Chelsea, BPMW. Which is Brand Pimps and Media Whores.
Yeah, I like those guys. Minya.
Yeah, Minya is mad cool. Yeah. You know, Supreme is down with me. I'm down with Supreme. I'm down with A-Life.
Yeah,
you know, I used to work with A-Life on a magazine called Mass Appeal. Back then I was known as Budokan. Okay. I was the editor-in-chief of Mass Appeal, and A-Life was the creative director. Okay. So we worked a lot together. So I have different influences, but I think the main people who are backing me right now are Rush Arts and Exit Art, because they're pushing my work forward.
Is there a big business you see, or a lot of artists are using their cell phones to take pictures and create video and using this as a tool versus the traditional camera?
Well, in the beginning it was a gimmick.
Yeah.
Like I've seen a lot of books, photography books, and on mobile phone photography.
Yeah.
But the last couple of years, I've seen people make documentaries. I've seen people make like short films, and it's becoming a more respected type of art form. It's a subgenre, you know. And I think it's getting more and more respect as the technology gets better and better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to walk in?
Sure.